What is Tantra and how to use it? You've probably heard of the term Tantra before, but do you really know what it is? In the West, we have a rather limited view of what Tantra actually is. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what it is really and how we can use it. But before I do that, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Doing so greatly helps the channel. It helps me get this valuable information out to those who need it. Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Anthony, and I am a certified sexologist, Tantra Counselor, NLP Practitioner, and sex, love, and relationship coach. And for over 10 years, I have been helping men, women, and couples have the relationship of their dreams and the best sex of their lives. So let's dig in. So what exactly is Tantra? Well, I'm going to read you a couple of quotes because some Tantra experts have really stated this in a way that I think is pretty clear and so good that I don't need to restate it, so I'm going to read it to you. The first one is from a book called Let's Talk Tantra. This was a book co-written by a personal friend of mine, and I found it to be one of the best Tantra books that I have read. So the quote is this: "Tantra is a way of living. It is life itself. It is to be able to encompass the whole human life without inhibitions, no taboos, no limitations, and to learn how we can use everything which we as humans have been given to empower our own growth and spiritual journey and return home as spiritual beings." That's a powerful statement right there. I'll give you one more. Tantra is a system for living and achieving enlightenment. It means weaving together and is often focused on the weaving of both masculine and feminine energies. You can compare it to yoga, which is an 8-branch system of which only one branch is physical poses. So what we are saying here is that Tantra is so much bigger than just the sex piece. In the West here, when we say Tantra, we're often just talking about the sexual practices of Tantra. But Tantra actually is a whole life system. As it says in the quote, encompasses the whole human life without inhibitions, taboos, or limitations. And that's what we're talking about here. So when it comes to our sex, love, and relationship, wouldn't we love to, have no inhibitions, no taboos, no limitations? Wouldn't we want to achieve a level of enlightenment? I sure would. And Tantra is one of those things that can help us get there. I did an episode on the Love Lab podcast called How to Use Tantra to Create What You Desire. And on that episode, I had 2 amazing guests who've been teaching Tantra for 22 years. They really know their stuff. It's a fascinating conversation, and I highly recommend you go check that out. So Tantra sees the human being, the whole human being, as divine creation. And I think most other systems do too. There's often, people that will say, well, Tantra is some sort of satanic stuff and it doesn't agree with my, Christian religion. That is absolutely not true at all. First of all, there's no satanic component to Tantra whatsoever. Second of all, Tantra doesn't tell you what form of spirituality you should have. It only tells you that there is a spiritual component to who we are. And it sees who we are, all of us, as being divine. And as such, our sexual energy is here for a reason. It is also divine, just like the rest of us. In Tantra, the physical body is celebrated as a living temple, and lovemaking can be used as a tool to transcend the physical level and reach this blissful state. And I do want to say just one more time that even though in the West, when we say Tantra, we're primarily talking about sex, do know that Tantra encompasses the entire whole of what it means to be human, not just sexuality. Having said that, the use of sex to reach higher states of consciousness does not define Tantra. It is one of the tools available to reach a much higher goal. It is an instrument for spiritual growth. Okay, well, all of that sounds great. Then how do we do it? What do we do with this thing called Tantra? That's the big question everybody always has. I want to know more about Tantra. How do I do it? Let me give you some ideas. The first thing is you need to recognize the divine nature of not only your body, but your sexuality. So that means if you're holding in shame, if you're seeing sex as somehow dirty or wrong, you need to figure out a way to shift that, release that shame, see it for the amazing, beautiful, and divine thing that it is. Next, you want to focus on the journey. If we're going to be using our sexual energy to create things in life, to move us closer to higher states of consciousness, we have to understand that this is a journey. This is something that's going to take time, and be okay with that. It's not, I gotta get to the destination, right? Embrace the journey. While on this journey, one of the things you want to do is really focus on creating, generating, and moving sexual energy through your entire body. Once you can move that energy through your body, the next thing you want to do is learn how to move it through your body into your partner and back into your body. Make lovemaking a whole experience. Remember, this is a divine act, right? So make it a whole experience. Incorporate everything. All the senses, smells, touch, sight, bring everything in there, taste, right? Bring all your senses and make it a whole experience. And lastly, as you cultivate this powerful sexual energy and learn to move it through your body and your partners, then you can take all of that energy that you've generated through this divine lovemaking and channel it into other areas of your life. This is sort of the whole idea behind how to use Tantra to create what you desire. And when I talked about that podcast episode, that episode is about how do you create this energy, and then how do you take that and use it in the rest of your life. So it's not just about how do I have great sex, although I can tell you, if you master these things, you will have the most amazing sex of your life. But it's also about how to take that out into the rest of your life as well. So there you go, that is a brief overview of what Tantra is and some ways that you can begin to use Tantra in your relationship and in your life. If you liked this video, please check out one of the other videos on this channel. I now have over 700 videos on all things to do with sex, love, and relationship. Please also check out the Love Lab podcast. You can watch it right here on this channel. You can also listen to it on any major podcast platform. And lastly, if you go to kevinandceline.com/vault, you can sign up for a free library of resources to help you have the best sex, love, and relationship of your life. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you, and I will see you in the next one.